Hello and welcome back to Get Even. This is BioEnchanted, and today we'll be looking at the very last level of the asylum. That's pretty exciting. I quite enjoy this part. It's kind of where the whole idea of the party comes to a head. And while it's fairly understated like most of the asylum, it's still very interesting. Also here we're also going to find out exactly what giving that man a crowbar did for us earlier. Remember, our Caesar, well, our Centurion I guess, we were his Caesar. But you see, in this story, into this hall here, not the one with the stairs, but this one here, there were a few things to look at in the post-op room. If you look here, this, if we hadn't given him the crowbar, this would be sealed. Looks like he opened this for us while he was escaping. That's nice of him. Now we're in this part of the room as well, on the other side of the staircase. I like that little passage, it's a cute little thing. And here we get this little note complaining about our friend. Poor John. He lost his friend. I quite like the girl singing very off tune. That's a neat little thing as well. It's a common thing in these kind of horror things, but it's also fairly well done, because it at least sounds like she's having a lot of fun. Which is appropriate, because it's a party. I like this guy, this is neat.
Long time no see. Sissy, there's the gift. Can you see? No, I don't think you do. You see yourself as above everyone in here. Just another inmate, stuck in the past, stuck in here, stuck in a rut.
But then, you always were.
It's why we're here. It's why we're all fucking here.
I quite like that little touch, it's cycling between the four voice actors. I think it's supposed to be Black, Red, Rose, and Jasper. Rose and Jasper are obvious. I think the other two are meant to be Black and Red, I'm not entirely certain. That's ominous, but let's go over here first and see what's in here, shall we? I also like the slightly off-kilter trumpets as well.
Classes. Therapy. In this place.
Take out the demons. Place them on the page. Paint is red. Should be black. The puppet master will not be pleased.
How am I seeing this? It must be the tech playing up again.
I do like those little, the mannequin paintings, so they're pretty neat.
42-year-old white male.
They get kind of samey, but there's not enough of them to really distract for that, so that's a well done way of using them. Of course, we have to be careful in here. That mannequin has one hell of a butt.
How many of these fuckers are there?
Look at that little whispered peekaboo as well, that's a cute little thing. But yeah, the fact that the new parts of the baseline are slightly out of off, out of sorts with the rest of the tune here actually works fairly well as well as a kind of escalation of just how weird this whole situation is that we found ourselves in. It's still a very familiar rhythm. I don't trust this guy because he's guarding a thing, but it's a rhythm that's just becoming a little bit off-kilter enough within itself to no longer be trustworthy. Before, we knew the party as something that was coming, something that was being planned, something that seemed to have some kind of significance, and still does, but the significance feels a little less grounded than it did because of this strangeness of the baseline, and that's pretty neat. But as you can see, we keep getting locked into these rooms, so let's keep moving on, shall we? All these metal gates keep shutting behind us. These little canisters here too. I quite like that mannequin because it's a very subtle thing where it looks like it could maybe be moving but probably isn't. No, it likely isn't, but just the way it kind of sways a little bit with the camera, it kind of works fairly well there. In fact, it's too far away to see it particularly clearly as well. Oh god, I don't remember this stuff. Things don't tend to go well after we've been reading this stuff. This game really likes its halothane. I like the stacked books and everything, and the toppled bookshelf.
Oh god, what now?
And that's the kind of dialogue I like as well, well, technically monologue, where like characters say pretty much what the audience is thinking.
What should I say? White Rabbit? You're so very late. But welcome to the party. The entertainment is about to begin.
Entertainment?
Yes! Yes! The puppet show for the puppet master! Can't you see? Everyone's playing their part. Playing dead. Ooh.
What are these? I just don't fucking know anymore.
Don't know?
I quite like that on these stands now.
Enjoy! It's all for you! It always was! People are puppets, and puppets are people! Take a drink. Join us. A loving cup. A loving cup.
I like that the puppets themselves are each dancing with a dead inmate. That's a neat little thing as well. A good bit of symmetry there. Also, this puppet master thing appears to be worshipping black for some reason. Curious what the significance of that is.
Substances recognized. Cyanide and formaldehyde.
A loving cup indeed. Just a better look at the whole, like, Pandora inmates dancing with the mannequins. That's a pretty neat thing too. Looks like all the voices are gone here as well. It's just the music here.
Must drink. No master is above his subjects.
Yeah, the entire asylum is part of this big rhythm that we've been listening to the entire game, and now we're being forced into being part of it ourselves. This was inevitable. This part's pretty neat. It's fairly simple, fairly straightforward, but I quite like what they do with the set piece we've just seen. And the overlapping voices as well, it's fairly overpowering. That's a neat touch as well. It does a good job making you feel overpowered now by the rhythm we've been hearing throughout the rest of the game, pretty much, and taken for pretty much granted. I mean, of course, I feel they could have done more with the whole idea, but it's not really that kind of game. It's not really going to go full on like Silent Hill or anything like that, because that's not really the kind of game we're in for here. It's more of a crime thriller than anything else. But this is still interesting enough for that kind of story, though. This is still off-kilter enough to stand out as a set piece among the rest of the set pieces in this story. Also the payoff, now the mannequins finally are alive. But we finally get the payoff for that build-up. And this is pretty neat as well, because it's hard to tell. You'll see. It's a good job building up the whole overwhelming thing though, because here, as we see, some of these mannequins will attack. It's scripted, it's obvious which one's going to do which, which one's going to attack are scripted, so it's not memorizing which ones they are, but as you can see, they do quite a lot of damage if they hit you. There's not many of these, otherwise so it will be really frustrating because of how quickly you die. There's just enough to keep the tension going. And it hurts you just enough to keep you moving forward. It doesn't hurt you too much to make you wait the entire health bar to refill, but it hurts enough that 2 of them hitting in a row will kill you. So you still need to play carefully here. I like that we turned the wheelchair mountain as well, that's pretty cool too. It's a nice little visual callback there. And now that is the party. Again, a little underwhelming for how much it was built up. But it was still interesting in its own right. Let's see what else we can find in the rest of the asylum, shall we?
It seems as though the user of the Pandora may skew certain details if they make a conscious effort to reject the technology. Perceived resistance, order of events, conversations, even environments may all be distorted or even hidden. It's problematic, but the Savant should be able to debug any inconsistencies in the review phase.
Yeah, the note's no longer the doctor now. Now they're just Ramsey's notes. I mean, I suppose he is a doctor. I mean, he probably has a PhD with all the research he's doing.
No! All that's left just isn't right. You were meant to sleep tonight. The puppet master, with his kin, all transformed into mannequins.
I'm sorry about this, but you started trying to attack. I can't have that. I like him. He's a good inmate.
I get reminded that I really don't understand exactly what I've created here. It seems as though the human brain cannot occupy any simulated environment alone. In much the same way we're unable to sleep without dreaming, it seems the brain populates these areas somehow, typically with other humans. The nature of the populace seems to be directly related to the user's state of mind regarding the environment itself. Something to monitor.
But yeah, I quite like the way that it builds up John Kay. Like, it starts off with him seeming fairly harmless, like just a guy who's got a few mental issues, is currently just in for observation, but he's otherwise a fairly relaxed kind of guy, just wants to enjoy his tea parties, and then he starts blocking away, like with that one puzzle, and then now he's full on, like, crazy attack mode kind of thing. It's like, it's an escalation of the character. And now that we're no longer doing what he wants, he lashes out. You know, it's a logical progression for the character. Here I'm particularly wary of this mannequin because something often happens here. I don't quite know what triggers it or what makes it not trigger. But in this case it didn't trigger, this was very weird. Just checking to make sure there wasn't anything to miss in that
Pandora's first true test. To uncover the truth behind what happened to Grace. I have my suspicions, but I must have missed something. Overlooked details. How could I have not known about this? How could I have not seen it coming? No matter. I will examine every last memory I can find. I will fix this.
You know, while there's nothing particular in here, I quite like the massive stacks of books and everything like that. And the mannequins at the table and everything. Yeah, for some reason something's supposed to trigger here, but it didn't. It's very weird. It even has like a little line of dialogue. I'm kind of annoyed that it didn't trigger because I wanted to show it off. I'm sure you can probably guess what it was. But let's move on. Don't even know what that accent was, mate. As you can see though, he's right there, ahead of us, directly to our right. Let's be a little careful, shall we? Let's not walk out straight in front of him, that would be foolish. We can Metal Gear this stuff. So here we go.
How many more?
Bam, 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 bam,
This
bam.
is senseless.
Bam,
You
bam,
are close,
bam.
Mr. Black. Just a little further.
Let's see what's down there, shall we? Oh, we've confirmed there's nothing in here. I quite like the added part of the bassline here as well. There's a little added extra bit of tempo to the songs. This time matches with the song properly, and but adds a little bit of extra tension to it. And there's like Staircase to Nowhere, things like that. They're kind of a neat little touch as well. As a kind of like this place still has some mystery to it. It's just these mysteries aren't relevant to our own. I quite like that as well, the guy who shows up temporarily and then just vanishes to like just long enough to worry you, get the gun out, but it doesn't actually require you to actually fight him. That's a neat little like sort of the closest thing this really has to a jump scare. It's a neat little thing. I always like that kind of twist on those kind of scares. Normally jump scare is you don't see anything, then boo, something's there. It's always fun to have it be the other way around, where ooh, something's coming and oh no, was that there? Was that just you? You know, it's a neat kind of twist on the usual perspective things. Now the music's gone. We've left it behind. Let's ruminate on what we just met, shall we?
DNA found.
What we've just found
One matching
and seen.
profile. Robert Ramsey.
There's a new name, Hope.
I'm gonna slit your face off. I'm gonna eat your fucking eyes. I'll eat your eyes. I'll eat your eyes. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you slowly. I'm gonna put my fingers in you. I'm gonna fucking kill you with a fork.
I like that you're still hearing inmates, even though there's no one really left to hear. It's another little way of keeping you on edge. What are these mannequins are pointing at?
Wait, this is you? You fucking bastard. Let me out of here now. This has gone on long enough.
Calm down, Mr. Black. That glass is bulletproof, shatterproof and soundproof. Your words cannot reach me and your bullets cannot harm me. Now, move on. We are so very close to the truth.
I really like this visual here when we turn around. All these mannequins prostrating or accusing or praying or otherwise just relaxing in some way. And then here we see them crawling out of the ground. That's a
One more
very
time,
neat
Mr.
visual.
Black. You know the protocol. You've been more than accommodating. Now, show me Howard.
And after that, you'll let me go.
Yes, Mr. Black, I told you already. We are close to ending this. You need to trust me.
Fine. Let's bring this home.
I quite like that it's teasing the mannequins having an origin, but it's not really one that makes sense. That's kind of neat. Like all these little holes and everything where they've been bursting forth. And this hand holding this one as well that I just noticed, that's pretty cool too. So let's see the final bits of evidence for the asylum, shall we? I quite like that the game doesn't explicitly link the evidence together. Like, it puts the chords up and everything, but it lets you kind of work out what the meaning of all these different numbers and everything are, like the coordinates and everything like that. Like, it mentions that, oh, there's an ADS warehouse that wasn't sold, I wonder why, and then there's a mysterious meeting, these mysterious coordinates that is Track Black's thing. It's obvious those coordinates are the coordinates of said warehouse, but it lets you make that connection yourself. Little things like that, that's kind of clever. Yeah, apparently, according to this one, Howard's pretty much broke. We really made a mess of him, didn't we? So let's see, shall we, where we end up? I do like that all the evidence there is actually not tactile, but being held by the mannequin's hands. That's a pretty neat thing. There's a lot of little cool visuals like that I quite like in this
Howard's
game.
lost everything when you stole the corner gun from me. It would make sense he'd want revenge. The only question is, why would you have any memory of meeting him?
The only memory I have of Roger Howard is the night I stole the corner gun.
We'll see, Mr. Black. We'll see.
This looks interesting. I quite like the atmosphere of this level, but we'll discuss that when we actually go through it. I'll see you next time for the final level of the game. Goodbye.